M1830 Bathing. Bathing measures the current ability to wash entire bodies safely. This indicator is a measure that needs to show improvement at discharge, as it is one of the measures used in calculating your agency's value-based purchasing score. It is also data collected for the agency's star rating. There are 6 indicators: 0 through 3, the patient is able to participate in some form of bathing; 4 through 6, the patient is unable to participate in all required fields. This indicator is collected at starter care OASIS and resumption of care OASIS, as well as follow-up and discharge from agency OASIS. To collect this data, you may want to consider information from the patient and caregiver. The clinician should utilize their own sense of sight and smell to assess if the patient is routinely able to bathe self. The physician may be able to contribute information regarding the patient's ability as well. The intent of this item is to identify the patient's ability to safely bathe themselves, including the transfer in and out of the tub. Ability is the key here, not the patient's willingness. The clinician should consider the patient's physical and cognitive limitations as well as the patient's environment. The patient's ability to bathe independently can be temporarily or permanently limited by physical impairments such as balance, emotional impairment such as memory deficits, sensory impairment such as impaired vision, and environmental barriers such as the tub location. No assumptions should be made regarding the equipment that is not present. The clinician should assess the indicators based on what the patient is able to do more than 50% of the time, keeping in mind that the patient's ability may change as their condition improves or declines. Washing of the face and hands and shampooing hair is excluded from this indicator. The bathing scale begins with the most optimal level first and then declines to the most dependent. The clinician should read each response very carefully to select the item that best describes their patient. Response 2 should be selected if the patient requires intermittent assistance from another person. Response 3 is more appropriate if the patient requires continuous assistance from another person. If the patient's ability to transfer in and out of the tub is the only bathing task that requires assistance, then Response 2 should be selected. Response 2 can include any form or combination of A, if supervision is intermittent supervision or encouragement; B, supervision to get in and out of the tub and shower; and/or C, supervision to wash difficult-to-reach areas. If the patient has a medical restriction from stair climbing and the tub or shower is located upstairs, then the patient is temporarily unable to bathe due to medical restrictions. If the tub or shower is non-functional, the patient should be considered unable to bathe in a tub or shower. Response 4 is selected when the patient is able to bathe self but unable to use a shower or tub. Response 5 is selected when the patient is unable to use a shower or tub but is able to participate in bathing. In Response 6, the patient is not able to participate effectively in bathing and is bathed totally by another person. A combination observation and interview approach should be utilized to assess this indicator. If possible, the clinician should observe the patient actually stepping in the tub to determine how much assistance is needed and if the patient can benefit from an assistive device. Physical therapy and/or occupational therapy may be helpful in both adaptive devices and energy conservation. If the score for your patient is 2, 3, 4, or 5, consider an order for a physical therapy evaluation for transfer training, strengthening, and endurance, as well as balance exercises. The therapist can instruct the patient or caregiver on safety as well as adaptive devices appropriate for the bath. If the environment needs adapting, consider adaptive devices to extend reach or bathroom aids such as handheld shower devices.